for why people aren't flocking to cinemas. But you could talk to about The Last Duel, Ridley Scott's. I think part of it could be marketing. How is it marketed? I think the fact that, Steven Spielberg, sure, he's a legend, but, he's not what Gen Z's sort of filmmaker, maybe. I think the cast, again, they're not that well known, which is great. Obviously, they're all fantastic in it, but there's not some starry names that might bring them out. I think we can't deny how much the pandemic is still having an effect. I think most of us know someone who's catching COVID again recently. So the idea of being in a enclosed space at the moment to watch West Side Story is probably not on the top of people's list.
I love the fact that we've split the difference here. You say Gen Z, I say Gen Z. Do you have a favourite musical then? You said you liked musicals.
I think as someone who grew up on the Disney Renaissance, I love all of the, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, despite the problematic Orientalism of that film. I am a massive fan of, I think Pocahontas is one of my favourite, but I definitely do not think we need a live action adaptation of that story. But I think Grease for me is one of my favourites.
Oh, wow! That's so much before your time, though.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones that me and my mum really enjoyed, and I think it felt quite edgy and forward-thinking, and in a musical setting.
Grease, it is.
It is Grease.
Grease is the word.
Grease is the word.
Thank you, Hannah. You're with the BBC World Service, and this is the Arts Hour. A couple of months ago, one of our guest reviewers recommended the film Titan. It was so visceral that she had to sit down after the screening to recover. I had to lie down. Titan is French director Julia Ducournau's latest film, her fifth. And at the age of 38, she's built quite a reputation as a director to watch thanks to her dark, disquieting vision. Her genre is body horror, which essentially means intentionally showcasing grotesque or psychologically disturbing violations of the human body. Titan is graphic.
Going up. Also, what's best for her family and all of those members of staff that work alongside her. But also, of course, there is that case of making sure that she is seen to be setting the right example, just as the royal family have done right throughout the pandemic. Now, it has to be said, there's no suggestion that Boris Johnson specifically called her up and said, oh, look, would you like to try and review your Christmas plans to set a good example to the rest of the country? But she will be very aware that when the royal family gather in Sandringham, it's not just them. They're also joined by often hundreds, if not thousands of people who all crowd into the grounds at Sandringham to watch the family go to church. And the last thing that she would want to do is encourage crowds to gather. There is no doubt this Christmas, of course, has an added poignancy. It's going to be the first one that she's marking without the Duke of Edinburgh alongside her after he passed away in April. But the palace are reassuring us that the Queen will not be by herself on Christmas Day. Members of the family will be there. Who exactly? Well, we're waiting to see. We do know, of course, that Prince Andrew and his family live on the Windsor estate. Prince Edward and his family live very close by. Charles and Camilla apparently are still weighing up their plans, deciding what to do. And the Cambridges, of course, they normally spend time in Norfolk or with Kate's family over in Berkshire. So who exactly is going to be with Her Majesty? Not clear at the moment, but I think one thing that is very obvious is that the royal family will want to be sticking within the guidelines. They'll be showing us publicly that they are doing the right thing. Of course, whatever those guidelines and restrictions are by the time we get to Christmas Day.
Rena Mills there. Almost 2 years after reports of the first COVID cases, health professionals and governments are still grappling with how to best deal with the virus. Although progress has been made with the vaccine and with treatments, there are still questions about what the next variant of coronavirus will look like and what impact it could have on public health. Well, joining me now is Dr. Amelia Skermont, who is an evolutionary virologist at the University of Oxford. Great to talk to you today, Doctor. First of all, what do we know about the severity of this current mutation, Omicron, that is clearly sweeping the country?
We don't know much. We have some anecdotal evidence that it is a bit less severe than the other variants, but really we don't have enough data, and some modeling shows that that's not true. The severity is the same as with, for example, Delta. So we cannot say anything at the moment. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will have more data so we can assess that. But at the moment it is really hard to say how it looks like.
I mean, you say we don't have the data. We know that South Africa was quite badly affected by it, and that the death rates and hospitalizations there haven't been as large as they were with Delta. I mean, why should we not look at that and say, well, hang on, it looks like it's not affected that country so much?
Comparing different countries is a bit tricky because there are different factors which are different between different countries. So, for example, demographics. When it goes to South Africa, the population is very young, only few percent are over 65 years old, and we know that the older people are at more risk to get severe disease. Apart from that, South Africa has beta variant there before, and there is a possibility that the immunity to this variant, like our previous infection to one variant, might give us better immunity to the another variant, which might be quite similar. And we know that mutations in the Omicron variant, some of them are similar to the beta variant.
No, I see. Now, and as you say, we don't know how severe it is yet. We still need to wait a couple more weeks for the evidence. But if it is proven to not be as serious, is it quite a good thing that it's very transmissible? Is it the case that the world almost needs a COVID pandemic that is of a kind that is less deadly in order to get antibodies up all over the world?
On one hand, yes. On the other, with the infections doubling every 2 days, like in the UK, we will see also hospitalizations and deaths growing. And right now we don't see that, but only because these things are lagging after infections. What we see now is the effect of infections which were 2 weeks ago, and at that time we still have seen it on much lower level than we see it right now. We only see the number of deaths and hospitalizations as well growing in the next week, I would say. So, of course, with less severe disease, it's better for us. But still, a lot of people will die because of the just mere number of infections.
Yeah, it came out over the weekend that the research that Moderna has done itself into its booster seems to prove that is particularly effective against Omicron. Do you take heart from that?
Yes, and that's not only Moderna. Also, Pfizer is effective against Omicron. Most of the vaccines which we have right now, seem to, after the booster dose, seem to work very well against these variants, and they seem to train our immune system to just recognize the virus, despite of what variant it is.
We, of course, don't, this is an odd question, I suppose, in a sense, because we don't have the research. But do you know anything about the effect of long COVID, what causes long COVID, and how it differs between variants? Do some variants seem to create long COVID and others not so much?
I don't believe we have such data and such research yet. I'm sure that many people and many researchers are trying to find out, but I think it is a bit too early to say that, especially looking at the new variants like Omicron or Delta. They have been with us for a very short time, so we cannot say if they differ anyhow when it goes to long COVID.
And the concern is not, of course, not just the current variant, it's the mutations that could come from it. How rapidly can COVID mutate, and how many times can it mutate, do we think?
So it can mutate quite fast. This is the kind of a virus which mutates fast, but it will mutate even faster with the high number of infections. Each infection is a possibility that the new variant will arise, which will be even more transmissible than the variants which we see right now. But it cannot mutate forever because it still needs to be similar to the variants which can attach to our cells. If it will mutate and change everything in its genetic material, it won't be anymore able to infect our cells. So there is a limit to the mutation which we can see, but still we don't know that when this limit will happen, when it will hit this limit. So,
is that a kind of an end point? Is that a natural end point for COVID, that it will mutate itself out of existence?
Again, it's hard to say. It can do that. It can mutate in a way that it will be just less infectious and then it will disappear. But it can also change so much that we will start seeing totally new strain of a virus. It might even start to mutate in a way that it can attach to the different cells, different receptors. So it can go both ways. So we cannot say at the moment what it will do, how it will mutate. But more infections mean that we are in bigger danger that might happen. Obviously, it can also be the good news that it will mutate itself out of existence, as you said. But we cannot predict that really.
No, we have no idea which way it will go. Dr. Emilia Skermond from Oxford University, really interesting to talk to you. Thanks a lot for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you.
This is Sky News. Coming up, is bias stopping minority ethnic communities from accessing help with their mental health?
Coming to you next, 3.
Today's media, more than ever before, hunts in a pack.
No one corrected me.
No, I don't agree with that.
We became more cynical.
He knows your game and he wants to outsmart you.
Boris has always been able to get away with things that mere mortals can't.
It's like a feral beast, just tearing people and reputations to bits.
I'm Tom Cheshire and I'm Sky's Asia correspondent based here in Beijing.
Campaigners say specialist mental health services are suffering due to a lack of minority ethnic therapists. Sky News has been investigating why many minority communities have a different experience of mental health treatment. Shingi Mariki reports.
There's no help out there. There's no one to listen.
This community hasn't always felt heard, but here they have a space to share.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. I know that this is really nerve-wracking.
The meeting is part of a peer-to-peer program called Engage in Me. It's for people from black and ethnic minority backgrounds aimed at plugging a gap in our mental health services. Barriers they've faced include a lack of BAME counsellors, meaning people like Rita have felt misunderstood.
Worst thing is when you go to talk to somebody and because they don't understand you, you're just talking to yourself.
To stop people feeling the same pain, this expert feels the way psychologists are trained needs to change with the times.
There are people in our communities who are facing trauma, discrimination on a day-to-day basis. And this might be because of their ethnicity, because of the social class, because of disability. And so the training and the curriculum needs to really focus.
I definitely am in a vulnerable group.
Cynthia is another member of the group who felt let down, but by her own community, including a black GP who failed to understand her problems when an abusive relationship left her on the brink of suicide.
Although they're trained in the professional way, they don't want to refer you to the psychiatrist or refer you to the secondary help. They said you should pray about it because that's what they claim.
Was this a
GP?
A GP asked you to pray because they were...
Yeah, that's what he said first when I told him all these things because I didn't know I was depressed.
Eugene Ellis founded one of Britain's largest black and Asian therapy networks. He thinks trust in mental health services could be restored if they take the same approach as grassroots groups.
There's been lots of examples of services that are being created that are specifically for particular groups. And what I mean by that is that the people who work there understand that race and the impact of race is very important to them.
The issues are complicated, but simply sitting, speaking and listening helps. And it's an outlet no one here wants to lose. Shingi Marike, Sky News, Lewisham in South London.
If you've been affected by that report or emotionally distressed, you can contact the Samaritans for support always on 116123 or via email to joe@samaritans.org. This is Sky News. Coming up, the Queen changes her Christmas plans because of concerns over the Omicron variant of coronavirus.
App that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Body, it's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Hey, listeners, yes, let earth receive her King. It is Starr Radio UK. I'm Archie, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car, at home,
on your smartphone.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Oh, come on,
is how I welcome you to today's edition of the morning show. Come, let us adore him. And let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well. Hello, it's Christmas here on Earth, and I hope it's Christmas up there as well. Okay, so I want to welcome you all. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. And to all our wonderful listeners from across the globe, wherever you might be listening to us from, I salute you all. And I welcome you to the 21st day of December, the year 2021, edition of the morning show. It's now 10:39 from the hearts of London. And from now till 1 o'clock when I bring the curtains down, I'm going to be your captain. I'm going to be flying you through the space. Maybe this time around like Santa. But I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let me say a special good morning to the crew. Mr. Francis, Guy, my able producer, to Mr. Frank Davids all the way in Ghana. Yes, Mr. Laimi Koike, Europe. I call Jody, massive good morning to you in Aberdeen. The one and only Felix, massive good morning to you, sir. And then, special good morning to Miss Ebenezer Hamon Chantel in South Africa. All presenters on Starr Radio, you can salute you all, ladies and gentlemen. Okie dokie though. Let's crack on. Playing in the background, some Christmas tune made in the African port, but this time around made in the Ghanaian port by Nana Blue. And it says Afishapa. And it's a happy anniversary or happy New Year or happy celebration, whichever is appropriate. But I want to welcome you all once again to the program. Listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent, I salute you all. Especially my listeners in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, and South Africa. I salute you all and I welcome you once again. Well, I hope that I'll be able to put a bit of whoomp in your preparation for the big day. Those of you who will be celebrating, those who are waiting for Santa to deliver on his promise. But don't you worry, I promise to be with you, and I'm going to make sure I do justice to that. But you can help me by continuing to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Let me say good morning to Mom Mekwabia. Let me say special good morning all the way to the US, to my family there. Yes, the McKeevers. Massive good morning to you all. Come for the Hivit in Minnesota. Good morning to you. This lady singing this song. It talks about cats. He said that she's going to get money. If she had money, she would have bought a cat to celebrate Christmas. Is it as a pet or as a Joseph? I rest my case. Do you want more? You want to know more? Come and see me in Chamber. Alright then. So I'm going to bring the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, and the travel update. We'll go on to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds known as global trotting. And then we'll go on from there exactly at 11 o'clock. I'll do my best to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll move on from there and have a look at some of the other stories making the rounds. At 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions as we look around the world to look at some of the story that's making the rounds there as well. Then at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. I promise you one thing, the program will not be void of music. There's going to be lots lots of music because we are easing you to the festivities. What have you wished yourself for this Christmas? Assuming you have all the monies, what present would you want? Nothing is hindering you. What would you want? Well, some say, I want, all I want for Christmas is you. Well, someone say, break it down. But once again, welcome to the program. The quote for today says, be patient. It takes time for a flower to bloom, for the sun to rise, for a heart to heal, for a life to change. Let me take it again. It's quite important for this season. Be patient. It takes time for a flower to bloom, for the sun to rise, for a heart to heal, and for a life to change. If you're praying for somebody's life to change, continue to pray. Maybe your child, maybe your son, your daughter is going wayward. Maybe your partner, whatever it is, you are hoping beyond hope. It takes time, but just continue hoping on. Alright, now let's move on to the weather front. It's a bit nippy today, but hey. Let me give you a bit of details what is going to happen here. I know across the globe, I know across the UK. A bit nippy upstairs. When I say upstairs, I'm talking about where Felix is, you know. That place is always cold. He is used to that. And a special good morning to Tosino in Moscow. Oh, it's very, very cold there. Alright then. Now it's saying that this day, this afternoon will continue largely cloudy. However, the cloud will become increasingly broken as the day draws on. This will also allow spells of sunshine to become more frequent. Now tonight we'll see clouds early on, but the cloud will tend to continue breaking up and increasing clear spells are likely. A colder night than of late, with light winds expected as well. Atomic temperature is going to be 7 degrees. The lower is going to be -2. UV level is going to be low. Pollution is going to be low. Sunset 15:53 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 0804 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Let's take a quick break. We come back and I'll bring you the travel update. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep enough gadget. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio Travel Update that comes to you every day from 10:40. It's now 10:48. Yeah, so what is happening on your travels this morning if you're in the UK, especially in London? Well, on the underground this morning, good service throughout. TFL Rail, DLR, London Traveling, London Overground, good service there as well. But you know what? On this travel this morning, you have to keep your eyes on the roads. Now, moving on straight to the riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is suspended, all the others have got good service. And during these times, we know people want to travel on the rail, national rail, to various points. Well, on the national rail this morning, Avanti West Coast has got special service, cross country special service, Great Northern special service, Northern Rail special service, Southern special service, Thames Link special service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, I'll keep you navigated, I promise, I was born. Now moving on to the final segment of the travel update today. Yes, that is the major roads in London. A4 has got closures, A40 closures, and Central London Red routes closures there as well. And as I would say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
It's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactement 9 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Yes, how many days more for the Christmas? 4 days more. Okay, have you gotten everything that you need to get? Some say yeah, some say no. Well, you want to know what? If you are in Africa or in the Caribbean area and you want to be able to next time or you want to transact business on the platform where you are able to move things around without any hindrances, Swift is there for you, then Gabby Dave is a place to be.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
Welcome back to the program. So as I said, well, a word to a white is always enough. So I hope that I managed to tell you exactly what you got to do. Yes, when it comes to Gabby Dave. Yes, okay. That is a good platform that you can advertise on. All right then. So now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds or global trotting. Let's go global trotting this morning. Yes, don't you worry. I'm going to bring you some lovely tunes. Yeah, some lovely tunes. Okay, let me play something in the background for you whilst we go global trotting. Omicron transmission, eye-watering high. That's what scientists are saying. If cases and hospital admissions keep rising fast, action will be needed before Christmas, scientist Jeremy Farrar says. Are you up for it, or you think that no, they are pulling a fast one once again? They tell us that and they will do whatever they also want. What do you think? World Organization issues holiday warning over Omicron. Now, an event cancelled is better than a live cancelled, warns the World Health Organization's head. Do you agree with him? Well, Scotland is considering whether to cancel major events. New restrictions on events such as Hogmanay street parties, concerts, and major sporting fixtures could be announced. And firms urge Prime Minister for clarity on Christmas COVID curbs. The hospitality sector is calling for a clear decision on whether to expect new restrictions in England. But the Prime Minister fell short of saying that. So it's like speculation, where at the moment there's a speculation going on, rumor going on that by the 28th there's going to be a 2-week circuit breaker. I remember yesterday, whilst I was on air, I was saying that there seems to be looming that just after the Christmas there's going to be a 2-week circuit breaker. Maybe that is what they are looking at. You don't want to, attack anybody's Christmas plans at the moment. A UK court has published a ruling in the divorce case of Sheikh Mohammed and his ex-wife, Princess Haya. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Also, global trotting. Whereas all sports events in Wales will go behind closed doors. The Queen has cancelled spending Christmas in Sandringham. The Queen will stay in Windsor Castle for Christmas amid concerns over the Omicron variant. But at least with the staff there, she's in the bubble with them, so that would be cool. The Scottish Power depth team filmed Radio Round home. The men entered the flat while the occupier was out, even though there is not a Scottish Power, she is not a Scottish Power customer. Oh my, I think she's going to sue their backside big time. Well, Starr Radio UK. Where are the lawyers? Okay, UK Supreme Court denies Maduro claim to gold. The ruling means only opposition leader Juan Guaido can access Venezuelan gold results in the UK. Boeing and Airbus warns US over 5G safety concerns. There are concerns that the new technology could interfere with aircraft electronics. Oh my goodness. Well, they'll tell you that turn all your phones off once you get on those flights. A super typhoon leaves island without power or water. Howard Johnson on the crisis facing Siargao Island in the Philippines, which is almost cut off. Abducted Haiti missionaries described daring escape. The group allegedly navigated by the stars as they trekked through the bush to freedom. Glenn Maxwell trial, jury begins deliberation. The British socialite faces up to 80 years in prison if convicted on sex trafficking and perjury charges. It's a sad one. It's a sad one there. It's a sad one there. My apologies for that noise. people don't pay much tax. That is the speculation, or that is a rumor that is going around, or as some would say. But well, in reaction to that, the world richest person, Tesla founder Elon Musk, has come out to say that, well, I'm going to be paying $11 billion in taxes this year. Well, kudos to him. They have to pay their fair share, you know. But if the little ones are paying their shares of their taxes, then the big hooks, they also have to pay theirs. Well, it's on Starr Radio, okay? Okay, in the Middle East, a leading Egyptian activist has been jailed for 5 years. Alaa Abdel Fattah is convicted of spreading false news after a trial called a sham by rights group. Berlusconi seeks comeback role as Italian president. Despite the scandals and the tax fraud conviction, Italy's most colorful ex-prime minister could be head of state. Berlusconi never want to go away. And some other story making the round. Amazon on Twitch banned Spanish Amazon Prime Video channel after host breasts revealed during live show. Oh my goodness. And China hits back at Hong Kong election criticism from the West. The US, Australia and others had criticized the tightly controlled vote for eroding democracy. When they say you want to vote, we give you an opportunity to vote. We give you the people that you have to elect. The candidates, we are the one who giving them to you. So, well, the West are saying that no, that's not democracy. They say, well, that's democracy. You voted, didn't you? Okay, Christians fear attacks or jail over conversions. The Christians in Karnataka states say attacks against them have grown ahead of a new anti-conversion law. Freedom of association. China Mobile to raise up to 8.8 billion in Shanghai. The firm was kicked off the New York Stock Exchange due to rules imposed by Donald Trump. Well, this all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And then, interestingly, a top Chinese live streamer has been given a $210 million tax fine. Internet celebrity Wang Wei, known as VR, is accused of hiding her personal income from officials. This week, handed down a fine of $210 million. Has she made up to that? Has she, or is she making up to that? Okay, to pay a tax of that amount. Well, it's Starr Radio UK. 2 minutes past the top of the hour at the time. Let's land in Africa and let's move on. Now, South Africa scientists probe source of new variant. COVID variant may be mutating inside people with suppressed immunity. A Gabon youth coach has been arrested after male rape claims. Patrick Ayi, a former Gabon under-17 coach, is arrested after claims of sexual abuse against him, which he denies. A minus experiment with hydrogen to power giant trucks. Anglo-American is testing a hydrogen-powered giant truck in a bid to make its business greener. They are digging. So coming away from Starr Radio UK. Goma resident protest deployment of Rwandese policemen in DRC. Now when it comes to Nigeria, some of the stories making the rounds there. Electoral bill, Senate in closed door session after Buhari declined assent. Buhari writes reps on why he rejected the direct primaries. And the governor Sonny Olu receives Y 2020 one-day governor at the Exco Chamber Lagos House Ikeja on Monday. And some other stories making the rounds there as well. Why NAS can't veto Buhari on Electoral Act Amendment Bill as the National House of Representatives why they can't do that? Well, when we touch in Ghana, well, let me tell you what is happening there. E-Levy Speaker Alban Gbagbe not picking phone calls. Seche Mensah to reveal. We'll bring you more on that front. There's a fight in the church in Ghana. Wow. After 7 members got sacked from the Assemblies of God. Well, I hope that they put their thoughts together. And Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf receives heavy punches as chaos breaks in. Where? So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to take a break, and then once we come back, I'll bring you the updates from Nigeria. Well, as I told you, it's getting to Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas, and I'm going to make sure that I make you feel it. While Joe Wise was shaking like a leaf, Majority Leader clarifies seat switching brouhaha. We will fight for the ordinary Ghanaian and ensure that e-levy dies, Atuforsen says. So the e-levy is making lots of rounds there. So we'll be looking at it. Well, the Speaker of Parliament himself decided to absent himself, wasn't picking calls. Therefore, there should be someone sitting in. And therefore, Joe Wise had to sit in. That means that the majority cannot have the majority that they have. Okay? But I will be telling you more about all that in a moment. Stay tuned, don't you go away. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And this afternoon exactly at 1:30, we'll be bringing you BB Means Business. Or you want to know more during this Yuletide, make sure your dials are still logged on Starr Radio UK at 1:30.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Yesu ni wangu wa uzima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wa uzima wa milele. Yesu ni wangu wa uzima wa milele. Uzima wa milele. Uzima wa milele.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. In your car, at work, at home, on your
This is
smartphone.
Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Playing something in the background from the Joyful Way Incorporated 2020. Joyful explosion there. Don't you worry. I'll bring you a lot of diverse music, okay? That's what exactly I'm going to be doing. But now, it is now time for us to cross over to Nigeria for updates from Nigeria. Let me take the opportunity to say good morning once again to Mr. Olayomi Koiki in Europe. Yeah, he's chilling out. Everybody's tired. They all need to chill out a bit, yeah? And somebody will say chillax. Yes. And let me say good morning once again to Coach D as well. But well, there are a few stories making the rounds here in Nigeria. And the first one that I want to touch on is the why Buhari has actually cannot assent the Electoral Act amendment. Okay, the news that the President Muhammadu Buhari has withheld his assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 in line with the provisions of Section 58, subsection 1 and 4, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, has been greeted with outrage, especially among the civil society organizations and opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP. However, the president was explicit on his reasons for refusing to sign the bill in his letter to the National Assembly. The president anchored his refusal on the inclusion of the direct primaries as the only mode of election of candidates by the political parties in the bill. In the letter titled Withholding of Assent to Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021, the president said he decided to reject the bill based on informed advice he received from relevant ministries, departments and agencies of the government, and have also carefully reviewed the bill in light of the current realities prevalent in the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the circumstances. Now, the president said the preponderance of the advice he received was that he should reject the bill. In rejecting the bill, said political parties should be allowed to choose either direct or indirect primaries to adopt in the conduct of their primary elections as their respective realities might permit. But the president also pointed out that direct primaries will not be the philosopher's stone for the transformation of Nigeria's electoral process, contrary to the argument of its supporters. He also added that the cost of conducting the direct primary will be costly with security implications. The president said the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 seeks to amend certain provisions of the extant Electoral Act 2010. Part of the objectives of the bill is the amendment of the present Section 87 of the Electoral Act 2010 to delete the provision for the conduct of indirect primary in the nomination of party candidates, such as the party candidates can henceforth only emerge through direct primaries. The conduct of direct primaries all across the 8,809 wards across the length and breadth of the country will lead to a significant spike in the cost of conducting primary elections by parties, as well as increase in the cost of monitoring such elections by INEC. Now, who has to deploy monitors across these wards each time a party is to conduct direct primaries for the presidential, gubernatorial and legislative posts? Okay, now the addition of these costs with the already huge cost of conducting general elections will inevitably lead to huge financial burden on both political parties, INEC, and the economy in general at the time of dwindling revenues. He also added that, contrary to arguments of its supporters, direct primary will encourage monetization and will constitute further strain on the economy. The president added that the smaller parties may not be able to muster resources required to mobilize all party members for the primaries. In addition to increased costs identified above, conducting and monitoring primary elections across 8,809 wards will pose huge security challenges, as the security agencies will also be overstretched. Direct primaries will be open to participation from all and sundry, and such large turnout without effective security coordination will also engender intimidation and disruption, thereby raising credibility issues for the outcomes of such elections. The president said the amendment as proposed is a violation of the underlying spirit of democracy, which is characterized by freedom of choices. Political party members is a voluntary exercise of the constitutional right to freedom of association. Several millions of Nigerians are not card-carrying members of any political parties. Thus, the emphasis should be on enabling qualified Nigerian to vote for the candidate of their choice during general election as a means of participation in governance and furtherance of the concept of universal adult suffrage or universal franchise. The president added that Signing the bill into law may lead to plethora of the litigation based on diverse grounds and issues of law, including but not limited to the fact that the proposed amendment cannot work in retrospect, given that the existing constitution of the parties already registered with the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC permits direct, indirect and consensus primaries. Now, this real possibility will without doubt truncate the electoral program of the nation, as another electoral exercise is imminent towards the change of government in 2023. Nigeria is at the moment still grappling with the issues of monetization of the political process and vote buying at both parties and general elections. The direct implication of institutionalizing only direct primaries is the aggravation of monetizing of the process, as there will be much more people a contestant needs to reach out to, thereby further fueling corruption and abuse of office by incumbent contestants, who may resort to public resources to satisfy the increased demands and logistics of winning party primaries, he argued. He added that the direct primaries will be subjected or susceptible to manipulation or malpractices, as most parties cannot boast of reliable and verified membership register or a valid means of identification. He said this means non-members could be recruited to vote by wealthy contestants to influence the outcome. Now, rival parties can also conspire and mobilize people to vote against a good or popular candidate in a party during its primaries just to pave way for their own candidate, whereas where voting is done by accredited delegates during indirect primaries, the above irregularities are not possible. It goes on further to say the major conclusion arrived at upon the review are highlighted here under, to wit, aside its serious adverse legal, financial, economic, and security consequences, the limitation or restriction of the nomination procedures available to political parties and their members constitutes an affront to the right to freedom of association. It has undemocratic to restrict the procedure or means of nomination of candidates by political parties, as it also amounts to undue interference in the affairs of political parties. Indirect primaries or collegiate elections are part of internationally accepted electoral practices. More so, direct primaries are not free from manipulations and do not particularly guarantee the emergence of the will of the people, especially in circumstances like ours, where it is near impossible to sustain a workable implementation framework or structure thereof. In the premise of the above, I hereby signify to the National Assembly that I am constrained to withhold assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 in line with the provision of Section 58 subsection 1 and subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. All right, then we take a break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Okay, welcome back to the program. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:27, and we're still bringing you updates from Nigeria. When I was talking about the president's Buhari's statement, why he decided not to assent to the amendment bill of the constitutional amendment bill. Well, he's giving his reason. Do you think that is a reasonable reason? Can I say that? A reasonable reason not to assent? It's quite interesting because there are some of the points that he raised which I agree with him. I mean, it's one of the first time where I've agreed with the president there. You know, most of the time I don't agree with some of his moves, but this time I seem to agree with him, because if we decide to assent this or put this in, amend this and put it in constitution, then what is going to happen is that you will be seeing only the rich becoming what? Candidates or holding the higher offices. Okay, but with this, I am of the view that, well, if I decide to register a party, and then because we've not got the means to select people or go for primaries and select people across the whole of the how many states in Nigeria, then I could just say, well, consensus. From consensus, we decided that Mr. A will run for this particular state and that, and we could do that rather than people going for primaries. And again, he's saying that, well, you know, because they don't have a proper data of members of their various parties, and therefore anybody, so who is going to be voting for what? And even that, if that has to happen, 2023 is so soon a time for that primaries to also happen. I mean, it will have to take about a long time for them to put everything, let the parties register their members. Well, if they want to do that, some would say with digitalization. I don't know how far Nigeria has gone with digitalization, but with digitalization, I think they should be able to do that. But as to whether that could be, I mean, used come 2023 is something that I really, someone to say, I beg to differ. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the governor of Rivers State, Nyansom Zenwo Wike, says the National Assembly lacks the temerity to veto President Muhammadu Buhari's refusal to sign the Electoral Act Amendment Bill because it is part of the All Progressive Congress scheme to deny Nigerians free, fair, and transparent election in 2023. Now, he said the only way for Nigerians not to repeat the 2015-2019 mistakes of voting the APC-led federal government into power is to send them packing in 2023. Well, do you agree with him? Come 2023, will that election even take place? Well, somebody said that, well, things are in place for that election to take place, and therefore they don't see anything wrong with it taking place. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, Lawan confirms Buhari's rejection of electoral amendment, and then Ganduje with Kwan Kwaso over brothers' death, and the Zamfara government telecom network dragged to court over network shutdown, and Kano senator pledges to complete 4 township stadia before 2023. Okay, so it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, but the topmost of the story is a rejection by the president of the electoral reform bill that was sent to him. All right then, so it's all Starr Radio UK, and this is where we bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. You can make your voice heard pertaining to this. Do you think that the election will come on at all? As we've talked to, we've spoken to some people during the course of the year, and some have come out to say that no, we don't think there's going to be any elections at all, because they think Nigeria has to, de-amalgamate, let everybody go their own way, and then the various groupings have their own election. But I don't think so. Things look like, is it because maybe we've not had the privilege of talking to some of them, but it looks like government is somewhere, somehow in control of affairs there. But what do you think? It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so the president has failed to assent to that bill. All right, so let's take a break. I'll bring you some music, and then we'll look at some of the other stories making the rounds. Bringing the time now to 11:33, and it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. All right then, stay tuned.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Receive our King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
All over
the deserts of the Sahara to the coastal forests of the Atlantic and into the nation's central hinterlands, peace shall reign. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, for he is the King of Peace. Merry Christmas, Nigeria. Merry Christmas, Africa. Merry Christmas.
Let there be peace all over the land. All over the land. Let there be peace. Let there be peace all over Nigeria. Let we jubilate, oh let jubilate, jubilate. We celebrate, celebrate, we jubilate.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 11:43. At 12 o'clock exactly, the lines will be opened. Now, maybe you want some Christmas greetings. You want to send special greetings to your friends and loved ones, whoever it might be, wherever they might be. Feel free to do so, because I promise you, I'm going to make sure that we relay the information to the person. Even if we need to call the person, I promise you I'm going to be doing that. What about that? Okay, now let's crack on. Now, looking at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK, yes, the Omicron transmission is eye-watering. It says it's eye-watering high. Okay, so let me put it that way, quote exactly. But ministers are waiting for crucial COVID data. Now, last week, public health officials said they will need to see at least 250 hospital admissions with Omicron before being able to come to an early judgment about how severe this new variant is in people who catch it. Now, we are probably getting close to that. Point is what information that is coming through now. I'm just giving you the My apologies. The latest information. Now it says that there were 129 confirmed Omicron cases in England, English hospitals on Saturday, and numbers are likely to have risen since then. Now, some information coming through. Understand that a team of Imperial College are working on this kind of severity analysis at the moment. It's likely to form a key part of Minister's decision making over the next few days. The number needing hospital treatment in London, seen as the epicenter of the England's outbreak, has been going up recently. 210 people were admitted with COVID last Saturday, compared with 166 the previous week. But as Professor Sir David Spiegelter pointed out in Channel 4 last night, a significant proportion of those will have gone to A&E for a non-COVID reason and tested positive on arrival. The sheer size of the outbreak in London makes that more likely. And it says there are also some very early tentative signs that numbers needing COVID hospital care in the capital might be below the levels expected given the number of infections in the city. So what do we do on that front? But some information that's come to the DUP leader Donaldson has tested positive. The leader of the Democratic Unionist Party said Jeffrey Donaldson has tested positive for coronavirus after returning to Northern Ireland from London. Meanwhile, Northern Ireland Health Service is facing its worst winter ever as the Omicron variant continues to spread. So now he's going to isolate. Who was he in contact with? Are they going to be contacted? Well. With just 4 days until Christmas, people are wondering if new restrictions will be brought in. Hospitality and entertainment firms are calling for a clear decision from the government on whether to expect further COVID restrictions in England in coming days. But the Prime Minister falls short of, accepting that or saying anything about that. Now, London's New Year's Eve celebration event in Trafalgar Square will not go ahead because of the surge in Omicron COVID variant cases in the capital. Mayor Sadiq Khan says the event for 6,500 key workers and members of the public is being cancelled in the interest of public safety. Instead, there will be a live broadcast celebrating London and its defining moments in 2021, and Khan is urging people to watch it from home. It comes after the mayor declared a major incident in the capital. He says London has recorded more than 65,500 new confirmed COVID cases in the past 7 days. It has caused 29% increase in London hospital admission in the last week. So what is going to happen on that front? We'll be watching very closely. All sports events in Wales to go behind closed doors. In Wales, spectators will be banned from all sports events from the 26th of December to try to control the spread of the Omicron variant. The Welsh government said it will apply to all indoor, outdoor, professional and community sports events. Economy Minister Vaughan Gerding said £3 million spectator sports fund will be available to support clubs and venues. And the ministers will meet later on Tuesday to discuss post-Christmas hospitality restrictions there as well. And train services cancelled due to staff absence is one of the stories making the rounds there. A number of rail operators are cancelling services due to COVID-related staff absence. The London North Eastern Railway is implementing an amendment timetable this week because of absent drivers and train managers. 16 services per day between London King's Cross and Leeds and London King's Cross and Lincoln will not run. Customers are being offered refunds or rebooking free of charge. Now, Northern website warns services are being affected by COVID-related absence and are being cancelled at short notices. Now it goes on further to say, West Midlands Railways also says it is running fewer trains as well as rising COVID rates affecting its workforce. The firm drivers training program has been severely disrupted by the pandemic and social distancing constraints, it says. Now, Cross Country has been warning of distribution due to train crew availability for several weeks. This morning, it told passengers trains may not run due to staff shortages. Now, ScotRail has also cancelled more than 100 services on Monday, while on Friday, Avanti West Coast said that the pandemic was resulting in staff shortages and there may be a short notice cancellation. Well, Scotland is also considering cancelling major events as England awaits news from the government on any further COVID restrictions to slow the spread of Omicron. Scotland is considering whether to cancel major events. A decision will be made at cabinet meeting today, and crowded events like Hogmanay street parties, concerts and major sporting fixtures. It will be announced by First Minister Nicola Sturgeon at about 14 hours 20, that's 2:20 GMT. Now, Sturgeon has already said there will be no change to the rules or advice around Christmas Day. Okay. But experts, Sunak can afford new COVID support, says a think tank. The Chancellor Rishi Sunak can afford to step in and help struggling businesses hit by Omicron despite continued high public borrowing, says the Institute of Fiscal Studies. IFS Director Paul Johnson said that although interest rates are going up, borrowing is still very cheap. The figures show the government borrowed less last month. And then, although Omicron variants of COVID has not led to lockdown measures as previous waves of the pandemic, businesses are struggling because people are reluctant to go out. Johnson says the Chancellor will be able to afford to meet demands from pubs, restaurants, and nightclubs for financial support. Okay, so those are some of the stories making the rounds in the UK. Okay, now a final story, that's the impact of mental health. The impact of mental health. It says that it's better for countries to control the spread of coronavirus and avoid using lockdowns, a World Health Organization leader has said. Dr. Margaret Harris, a public health doctor from WHO, said this morning that mental health impacts of lockdowns are very serious, and we have seen a big rise in mental health suffering during this period. It goes over to say we prefer not to see a big lockdown, because they have huge economic implication. They have very severe social implication and mental health implications, she says. However, they do work. So government do get to a point when the hospitals are overwhelmed, where they run out of options. Well, those are some of the stories making the rounds in the UK front when it comes to news. Well, a final story. Two stories before we bring the update from the UK to a close there. The Queen has cancelled her traditional Christmas in Sandringham in Norfolk amid concerns about the rising levels of the Omicron variant. Instead, she will stay in Windsor, where she will be joined by members of the royal family. Buckingham Palace aides describe it as a personal decision and reflects a precautionary approach. It is the second year the pandemic has caused the cancellation of the Queen's Christmas trip to Sandringham. Last week, the Queen announced that she will not be going ahead with her family pre-Christmas lunch, and that was also in response to worries about the spread of the new COVID variant. But well, it is not known which members of their family will be visiting her at Windsor for Christmas, but a Buckingham Palace spokesman said that all appropriate guidelines will be followed. Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Let's crack on. One final story from the UK front, and this happened in Scotland. And to all those who go Okay, Scottish Power Debt Team filmed raiding a wrong home. Now, Scottish Power debt enforcers have been caught on camera breaking into a woman's flat seeking payment for debt she did not owe. The woman was on holiday at the time and was not a Scottish Power customer as well. Doorbell video footage shows two uniformed men tampering with locks before going into the flat and identifying themselves as Scottish Power representatives. The energy firm has admitted the error, apologized, and offered compensation. It is the latest in the series of reports that featuring allegations of heavy-handed measures by representatives of Scottish Power. Now, the UK energy regulator Ofgem has now opened discussion with Scottish Power following the claims. The woman's father said his daughter was on holiday in the north of Scotland on the 20th of August when she received an alert from the video doorbell. Donald McKeever, 60, said she saw there were two men at the door and she realized they were trying to break into the flat. She tried to engage with them through the intercom and they chose to ignore that and then watch for a period of 43 seconds as two guys walked through the door, he said. Now, Mr. McKeever said he drove from his home in St. Andrews to the property in Glasgow to investigate. He said, I got down there and walked into the flat and couldn't see anything. He said it was like nobody had been there. It was absolutely nothing. It was absolutely nothing there at all. If it hadn't been for the video footage, nobody would have known anyone had been in this flat. Yet two men were in the flat for 27 minutes. Nobody can explain to me what they were doing in a two-bedroom flat for 27 minutes. They were supposed to be looking for gas meters, a gas meter that happens to be in the basement. Mr. McKeever later found a letter from a debt collection firm and addressed to someone who did not live in the stairwell. He said the daughter had reported the letters 3 times to Scottish Power, but they kept sending written demands for unpaid money. Well, I hope that they compensated her properly. Well, yeah. If not, yeah. Okay, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I told you, we are in a little tide, and therefore we're taking it easy, aren't we? All right then. So now we'll be crossing over to other parts of the world as well, and look at some of the stories from the US to China. We'll be looking at it, but that will be after this commercial break. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world in adjustment. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
For Christmas, the season of good cheer. H is for happiness to last throughout the year. R is for respect that each and all should show in this holy season, wherever you may go.
Yes, some nice Christmas tunes coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. This time around, coming from the Caribbean port.
T is for toy, for little girls and
from John Holt. I hope you're enjoying it. But let me know the lines open. You want to join in the conversation? You want to wish somebody a Merry Christmas? You want to send a Unitide message to anybody? It is 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, you want to join in 001-7183-03-2737 001-7183-03-2737. I'll call you. Also, you can text or WhatsApp at 0753-966-1744 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. Those of you who are watching us on the YouTube, you can share the links with your friends and loved ones. Those of you on our apps, now download our apps. You know, it's a user-friendly one. Those who are on it can tell you assuredly. You're on the app, you can send messages via that. You can do a voice note via that as well. And then you can go to the TV section and watch live what we're doing here right now as well.
That each and all should show.
So whatever it is, don't miss out on it.
Wherever you
but give me a Christmas boom by sharing the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. All right then, enjoy the tune and I'll be with you. I'm going to be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds across the globe. In Ghana, the honorables are unraveling themselves in the Houses of Parliament when it comes to the e-levy. Yeah, we'll be telling you more about that. Stay tuned, don't you go away. It is Starr in the UK.
You find them joyfully. It's for for manger, the place where he was born. A is for angel, who watch from dusk till dawn. S is for star, that led three men from afar. And remembering these, we'll hope you see a very Merry Christmas wherever you may be. Merry Christmas, everyone.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
R is for respect, that each and all should show in this holy season, wherever you may go. I is for indulgence, to know how far to go. S is for Santa Claus, the children all do know. T is for toy, for little girls and boys. Around the world where they may be, you find them joyfully. M is for manger, the place where he was born. A is for angel, who watch from dusk till dawn. S is for star, that led three men from afar. And remembering these, we hope you see a very Merry Christmas wherever you may be. Christmas, the season of good cheer. H is for happiness, to last throughout the year. R is for respect, that each and all should show in this holy season, wherever you may go. I is for indulgence, to know how far to go. S is for Santa Claus, children all do know. T is for toy, for little girls and boys. Around the world where they may be, you find them joyfully.
John Holt on some Christmas tunes with you, coming your way from Starr Radio UK this Tuesday afternoon, exactly at 7 minutes past the top of the hour. Don't you worry, I'm going to bring you some lovely tunes after that. But remember, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, there will be BB Means Business coming your way once again by BB Clement. So we make a date with her when we bring you that program. But wherever you are, don't touch it down. Continue to stay tuned. Continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Now let's move on straight to some of the stories that is making the rounds in other parts of the world. Biden buys 500 million test kits to tackle Omicron surge. The U.S. will also deploy more military medics amid fears the holiday season will boost a COVID spike. Now, you know, interestingly, the Omicron is said that once you can do a lateral flow test and doesn't say you are positive. You know that? If people don't know, I'm telling you. Yes, but Biden is but some will tell you positive, others tell you negative. So positive, negative. Which one will you go for? So if it's just one type of test kit that you have and it's telling negative. Meanwhile, you're feeling, let me put it, lethargic, so tired, drained, and maybe your nose is dripping a bit and you have temperature. Now, what does that mean? Okay, yeah, we'll be looking into that as well. Now, so let me bring you details of that The first story, Americans, the U.S. President Joe Biden administration is to make 500 million rapid tests for COVID available amid the new measures to tackle the surging Omicron variant. Now, Mr. Biden will address the nation later, telling people to protect themselves as the holiday season gets underway. There will be more vaccines and more support for hospitals, but no need for a lockdown, a senior official has said. Now, Omicron has become the dominant strain in the U.S., accounting for nearly 3/4 of all new cases. It was first identified in South Africa last month, but has now spread around the globe. Although 73% of adult Americans are fully vaccinated against COVID, the administration remains concerned about those who have not had jabs. The senior official said, if you are unvaccinated, you are at high risk of getting sick. This variant is highly transmissible, and the unvaccinated are 8 times more likely to be hospitalized and 14 times more likely to die from COVID. The White House said the measures Mr. Biden was announcing will mitigate the impact unvaccinated individuals have on our health care system. All right, then. So we'll see what happens from that. How true is that? How true is that? It's a question that most people are asking this morning. Now, the jury has begun deliberation on Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. A New York City jury has begun deliberation in the sex trafficking and perjury trial of Ghislaine Maxwell following weeks of testimony. Ms. Maxwell, 59, has denied grooming underage girls for abuse by the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, prosecutors called her a sophisticated predator, while her lawyers alleged sensationalism in their final statement to jurors. Ms. Maxwell faces up to 80 years in prison if convicted. The jury withdrew for an hour of deliberations on Monday evening and will return on Tuesday to continue considering their verdict. Okay, it's all coming your way from Starr in the UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now one final story from a U.S. student made to reenact Holocaust in school. Okay, an investigation is underway regarding the alleged incident involving young people in Washington, D.C. Well, what would that be? Is it being okay, let me leave it. All right then. Now, Elon Musk says that hello, I'll be paying $11 billion in tax this year. Why? Elon Musk, the world's richest person, has tweeted he will pay $11 billion. That's $8.3 billion in tax for this year. Mr. Musk has been embroiled in a public debate on social media over how much tax he pays. Earlier this week, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted that Mr. Musk should stop freeloading of everyone else. For those wondering, I will pay over $11 billion in taxes this year, the billionaire responded. Goes on, Mr. Musk, founder of the electric car maker Tesla and aerospace manufacturer SpaceX, became the world's richest person earlier this year. Bloomberg Billionaire Index puts his wealth up to $243 billion, while Tesla is worth around $1 trillion and SpaceX is worth $100 billion. Okay, last week Mr. Musk was named Time Magazine Person of the Year. That prompted Senator Warren to tweet, let's change that rigged tax code so the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. Well, if the big hooks pay their fair share of the taxes and the little ones also pay theirs, then we're all contributing to a good quota, aren't we? All right then. There's a saying in the pidgin language, a monkey the work, babu the chop. This time around, monkey no go work, babu no go chop. We all the work, we all go chop. Abi, wow, that's good one there. All right then, now let's move on to other parts of the world. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Venezuela, the UK Supreme Court has denied Maduro claim to Venezuelan gold. The story says the UK Supreme Court has prevented Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from accessing the $1.95 billion dollars or 1.4 billion pounds of gold stored in the Bank of England. Mr. Maduro says the cash will be used to fight COVID-19 in the country. The Supreme Court overturned a prior Court of Appeal ruling, meaning only opposition leader Juan Guaido, who the UK considers as the legitimate leader, can decide what happens to the gold. Now, despite this, in practice, the UK deal with Maduro's administration. Mr. Guaido and Mr. Maduro have separately appointed two different sets of governors to Venezuela's central bank. But Mr. Guaido, who is recognized by more than 50 countries as a legitimate president, wants the gold to stay in the Bank of England vaults. But Mr. Maduro, who remains in the presidential palace and in control of the government, military and police, has sued the Bank of England to have the funds released. Mr. Maduro was re-elected to a second 6-year term in May 2018. In a highly controversial polls which most opposition parties boycotted. Well, he claims the money will be transferred to the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, to buy medical supplies to fight the pandemic. His critics have blamed him for mismanaging Venezuela's economy, causing severe crisis where millions of people need aid due to collapsing public services, soaring unemployment, and devalued local currency. They claim Mr. Maduro will use the funds to pay off foreign allies that support his regime. Venezuela has been sanctioned by a group of nations including the US, UK, European Union, Canada, Switzerland, Panama, and Mexico since 2014 over corruption, human rights violations, and the suppression of democracy. Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, 12:15 the time. The morning show. Yes. Join in, hop in if you want to, if you wish to, feel free to do so. It's all coming your way. Well, I think the UK courts have been very, very busy. Let me touch on one before we go to one troubling one when it comes to aviation. Now, it's described as the biggest divorce case in British legal history, a settlement of more than $500 million. The billionaire ruler of Dubai and his estranged wife. The UK High Court on Tuesday awarded a lump sum settlement of $251.5 million to Princess Haya bint Al Hussein, the 47-year-old daughter of Jordan's former King Hussein. She is the youngest of 6 wives of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the multi-billionaire ruler of Dubai, Prime Minister of the UAE, and the influential horse racing owner. The judgment provides Princess Haya with sums to cover the cost of running 2 multi-million-pound properties, one next to London's Kensington Palace, as well as her main residence in Egham, Surrey. There is also provision for a substantial security budget, as well as holiday salaries and accommodation for both a nurse and a nanny, armored vehicles for the family, and the cost of maintaining various ponies and pets. It was also awarded secured payments of 5.6 million a year to each of her 2 children, a 14-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. These are to be secured with a 290 million guarantee. Wow, this one in Ghana they'll say wakwawarepa. So even in divorce, see how much he's raking in. Well. I think the man will be fuming like no man's business. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, this is now a worrying story. We'll be going to Ghana pretty soon. They are all going bonkers there, but we'll be going there pretty soon. Now, bosses from the world's 2 biggest plane makers have called on the US government to delay the rollout of new 5G phone services. In a letter, top executives at Boeing and Airbus warned that the technology could have an enormous negative impact on aviation industry. Now, concerns have previously been raised that the C-band spectrum, the 5G wireless, could interfere with aircraft electronics. Now, US telecoms giant AT&T and Verizon are due to deploy 5G services on the 5th of January. The 5G interference could adversely affect the ability of aircraft to safely operate. Now, said the bosses of Boeing and Airbus Americas, Dave Carlon and Jeffrey Natal, joined letter to U.S. Transportation Secretary Peter Buttigieg. Now, the letter cited research by Trade Group Airlines for America, which found that if the Federal Aviation Administration 5G rules had been in effect in 2019 and about 345,000 passengers flight and 5,400 cargo flights would have forced delays, diversions, or cancellations. The aviation industry and the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, have raised concerns about potential interference on 5G with sensitive aircraft equipment like radio altitude meters. Now, Airbus and Boeing have been working with other aviation industry stakeholders in the U.S. to understand potential 5G interference with radio altimeters. Airbus said in a statement, an aviation safety proposal to mitigate the potential risk has been submitted for consideration to the U.S. Department of Transportation. Now, this month, the FAA issued airworthiness directives warning 5G interference could result in flight diversions, saying it will provide more information before the 5th of January rollout. In November, AT&T and Verizon delayed the commercial launch of C-band wireless service by a month until the 5th of January and adopted precautionary measures to limit interference. Aviation industry groups have said the measures did not go far enough, with Boeing and Airbus saying they made a counter proposal that would limit cellular transmissions around airports and other critical areas. Last week, United Airlines Chief Executive Scott Kirby said the FAA's 5G directives will bar the use of radio altitude meters at about 40 of America's biggest airports. The U.S. Wireless Industry Group, the CTIA, has said 5G is safe and accused the aviation industry of fear-mongering and distorting facts. A delay will cause real harm. Pushing back deployment 1 year will subtract $50 billion in economic growth. That as our nation recovers and rebuilds from the pandemic. The CTIA Chief Executive Meredith Atwell Baker said in a blog post last month. So can 5G affect the flights in Boeing and Airbus? You know, there is this commercial that is it about EE is EE, where you have them saying, oh, we managed to land the plane using the 5G network or the 5G service, let me put it that way. So do you think that actually it can crash a plane or divert a plane, cause delays, so that maybe you are thinking you are traveling east, then you end up seeing that you are traveling west? That'll be interesting, but we hope that more clarity will be brought to it. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, I thought that maybe there was a Parliament House that embroiled in some like punches and pushing and shoving and stuff like that. But now I think I can see it happening right in Ghana, where we'll be talking about it in the next few moments. But we're going to take a musical break, and then, but before then, Goma resident protest deployment of Rwandese policemen in DRC. So they don't want Rwanda's policemen in Democratic Republic of Congo. But you know, Rwanda is one of the countries in the sub-region where they've been helping when it comes to security issues. They were in Mozambique, one of the neighboring countries, helping them in that front. So it's not only that, but do the DRC people think that they are becoming hard-handed on them, or what? Because if you want to come to a community to help them on that front, and they say, look, we are not interested in what you are doing, then what else do you do? I will pull my troops out like no man business at all. I will just pull them out. But well, that's what is happening there. Opposition party in Burkina Faso reappoints leader as one of the stories making the rounds there as well. All coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So now let's go enjoy the music that I was going to bring your way, the rest of the tune there, and then I'll take you to Ghana where it's all unraveling. Stay tuned, don't go away.
I remember one Christmas morning, winter light on a distant cloud, the feel of the bed and the Christmas tree smell, and eyes full of tinsel and fire.
This is Starr Radio UK.
It's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program, the final segment of the morning show for you. As I announced the lines open earlier on, you can feel free to join in. Maybe you just want to wish somebody a Merry Christmas. Maybe you don't want to just even say anything. Just want to say, can you contact this person for me and wish them a Merry Christmas for me. Whichever you want to do, you let me know, and I'm at your beck and call. I promise I'm going to do that for you. All right then. Okay, so Starr Radio UK. Now the lines are open as well, so feel free to hop in and off as you wish. Okay, but this afternoon, as I announced earlier on, exactly at 1:30, BB Means Business will be coming your way by BB Clement. Make a date with her when she comes your way with a program as well. So stay tuned, don't you go away. Now, let's go to Africa and let's go to Ghana. A brawl has broken out in Ghana's parliament during a late night session over a contentious government proposed levy on electronic transaction. MPs shoved, pushed, and threw punches at each other while others tried to stop the fighting. The chaos started after opposition MPs rushed forward to prevent Deputy Speaker Joseph Osei-Owusu from leaving his seat to vote. Local media report says he was chairing the session, which was then adjourned because of the disorder. The opposition National Democratic Congress has rejected the proposed levy of 1.7% on electronic transaction, which includes mobile money payment. It says it will hit low-income people and those outside the formal banking sector. But Finance Minister Kenneth Oriata has said it is necessary to widen the tax net, arguing that it will raise an extra 6.9 billion Ghana cedis or $1.15 billion or 870 million next year. The parliament session began on Monday morning and broke up after midnight. The local graphic newspaper, some of the newspapers are saying the deputy speaker was seen as crucial as Parliament has been heavily divided over the proposed tax. It was approved by Parliament Finance Committee by 13 votes to 12, but only after its chairman cast the decisive vote in favor of the proposal. The graphic the newspaper says. But let me bring you more details on that front because it seems to be raveling. Now, the Speaker, Abagbagin, not picking phone calls. The majority leader in Parliament, Osei Mensah Bonsu, has revealed that the Speaker of Parliament, Abagbagin, is not responding to calls and messages after absenting himself from Parliament on Monday. The Speaker was nowhere to be found as Parliament had intended to vote for the passage of the controversial e-levy bill. Now, speaking this morning, the majority leader has disclosed that all efforts to get to the speaker has proven futile. I called him a couple of times, but I couldn't reach him, and I sent messages, including WhatsApp messages, but I have not had any response, Osei Mensah Bonsu stated. However, the majority believe that the move from Abagbagin is an attempt to reduce the 138 majority as the first deputy speaker, Joseph Osei-Owusu, will have to step in for him. Now, this will make the majority have an equal number with the 137 minority. Joe Wise bucketed the chair for second deputy speaker to take over in order to vote, but the minority disagreed and charged onto the speaker's podium to seize his chair. The minority had earlier contended that the parliament standing orders, the Speaker of Parliament does not have a casting vote. However, Joe Wise, Joe Osei-Owusu, indicated that he will still vote. In the process, the minority clashed with the majority, with members of both sides exchanging blows. Now, Parliament has been adjourned for today, 9 a.m. But interestingly, what is the rule? If you are sitting in the chair directing affairs, whether you are the deputy or whatever you are the speaker, you have not got a vote. You can't cast a vote because you are the prefect, you are the referee. So the referee cannot on one space say, yes, I'm going to now be part of the those who are casting the vote, and so referee the case. So that's why he decided to, okay, now I'm not going to do it anymore. Now if he's not going to, then he should be out of the chamber. So the deputy, the second deputy, will then take over. So if he goes out of the chamber as well, then it still brings them to 137. It will be what? So 136, 136. All right. But that doesn't seem to be what is going to happen there. We'll be watching very, very closely what this will mean for this bill. As whether it will be passed is another thing. But, well, the infighting that is going on, how do you see it? Well, yesterday I did touch on the fact that Citizen Vigilante was saying that, well, he thinks that the opposition are just hanging on the apron of the majority. But it looks like they say, no, we're not going to be doing that. This time around, we're going to make sure things happen live. But what do you think is happening? Are they fighting the cause? Can government sit and then maybe have a real look at the whole thing? Because if people should go on that path, and we know we have an ensuing strike that is going to take place on Thursday from the Momo, those who do these transactions, okay, these e-levy transactions, those who handle it. I think they are going to be seeing to that. But what do you think? Well, in a reaction to what happened last night, there's heavy security in Parliament ahead of the e-levy debate. Who has brought security to Parliament? Now, there is currently a heavy security presence at the premises of Parliament ahead of the e-levy debate. According to sources, national security personnel have been detailed to Parliament and MPs are being screened before entering the chamber. There is also heavy police presence. This comes on the back of the fist cuffs that climaxed last night's proceedings on the floor of Parliament during the debate on the e-levy. The minority and majority MPs had clashed after the first deputy speaker, Joseph Osoro-Wusu, had allegedly left the speaker's seat to take part in the voting and proceeding. I mean, that was a tactical thing that the Speaker of Parliament ensued. But it looks like it is backfiring in a way, because I don't know if this morning he will be coming back to the Houses of Parliament. I don't know whether this morning he's going to be doing that. But why can't government see that there's a need for a U-turn, if need be? You know, people are, calling and crying and making lots of noise. Well, in a reaction to what took place yesterday night as well, social media have reacted to chaos in the Parliament during the e-levy voting. The social media users have expressed displeasure over the scuffle that broke out in Parliament on Monday night when the House sat to deliberate the e-levy bill. The House was to decide whether the e-levy bill should be accepted under certificate of urgency or not. However, the sitting was presided over by the first deputy speaker, Joseph Osoro-Wusu, turned chaotic when the minority side attempted to prevent the deputy speaker from vacating his chair to participate in the head count voting process, which he can't do it because you are the referee. Now, this resulted in a clash between the two sides in Parliament. Some MPs threw their fists while others fell to the ground. Proceedings was then adjourned due to the misconduct, but Ghanaians say this conduct by the representative is unacceptable, particularly when a similar incident broke out on December 1st in Parliament over the approval of the 2022 budget. The Speaker's chair was dragged from its position during the chaos. They say such acts should not be exhibited by individuals who hold the honorable title. Well, some of the comments, let me bring them through. So, go and represent us in Parliament. No, you've gone to represent WWE, that's World Wrestling. If we wanted to match wrestling anchor, we go vote, give Kaswa Van Dam. Okay, and I know that some George says, I'm ashamed of what we call parliamentary democracy. How do we twist the rules this way? Where are we taking the country to? Is this level, this desperation, democracy? What is this? Sly Frimsy says, I'm also ashamed of the level of foolishness some of you guys displayed on the floor of Parliament. For Christ's sake, can't you guys disagree without going physical on each other? What signal are we sending to the world and the youth watching you? We are fed up with your shameful acts. Okay? And then Kukoi Kukoi says, I'm just admiring the nice kaftans our parliamentarians are wearing. I mean, just look at the aspect, tailoring, and range of colors, rainbow parliament. What a sight to behold. She's captured some of the, and then Samuel Chumaje says, now we the citizens should referring to them as honorables. For me to stop referring to them as honorables, that's what I want to say. I stopped calling them so right after their first fight in parliament. Something Trotro mates have stopped doing. Oh my goodness. And then Fix the Country says that I just can't stop crying when I see headless and witless leaders fighting because of their plans to loot the poor citizens' money. They go in parliament to fight like chickens. Is this the gateway to Africa? We are told in primary school. That's a good question there. Now, Mempasem Assemblyman, okay, he says, we are having all these people in parliament and Ghana is still struggling in boxing. We have the resources, but we just don't know how to use them. So we need to move them into the rings for them to represent the country, can't we? Now, sometimes we just watch and shake one heads parliament this. That's what the Opoku is saying. Asamoah Ansong says, you are all a disgrace, sir. You are all part of the government. All 275 of you disgraced parliament yesterday. All of you. And then one from Kinazan. I say shameful at best. There is barely anything honorable about this parliament. And then Mr. Young says, I'm confused. Oh, isn't 26 Boxing Day anymore? So he's thinking that they should wait for the 26 to go boxing each other. Gambra says that you can't be in parliament and throwing blows like this and still expect to command respect. No, sir. You lost that moment. You ignored the honorable title and acted like some messed up Mexican cartels. Oh, goodness. And then Uncle J, the final one, says, fighting in a parliament has happened several times. If this was somewhere abroad, they would have sacked all these people. Do you think that would have happened? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's quite an interesting piece there. But what do you think is going to happen today? What do you think is going to happen today with Parliament resuming? What do you think is going to happen today? All right. Let me quickly see whether I can touch on one story, and I'll bring the program to close because I think I've exhausted all the stories that I brought, and then I'll bring you some lovely tune to mark your afternoon. And as I said, it's a Yuletide, and therefore I'm doing all that I can to ease you. Into the celebrations. Okay. Now, one other story. Jane Mensah did not attend MPP National Delegates Congress. That's some information coming through. But there's a picture of her seated among some of the delegates. The Electoral Commission has refuted reports that its chairperson, Jane Mensah, participated in the New Patriotic Party National Congress on Sunday. In a statement issued on Monday, the Commission urged the public to dismiss any such reports. Our attention has been drawn to a photograph making the rounds on social media purporting to be the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Jane Mensah, at the recently held MPP's Delegates Conference in Kumasi. This comes to inform the general public to disregard these false news items, as the said photograph is not Mrs. Jane Mensah, the citizen said. The EC further said the narrative on social media is part of a scheme and should therefore be disregarded. But the question is it Jane Mensah or not. The picture looks like her because this person has got the same hairdo like Jane Mensah does, and sitting by some of the delegates. So who is that woman? Well, maybe someone will one day identify her for us. Okay, but this is where I bring the stories or the morning show to a close for today. I promise you tomorrow I'm going to be coming your way once again, and we're going to be having fun. As I said, we easing you into the Yuletide. So wherever you are, stay tuned and don't you go away. Enjoy this tune, and when it ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. Bye bye for now.
From tears, I gave it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. This year, please save me from tears. I gave it to someone.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
I select it from Contamanto. Emano, Mohene, Umrabekoto. Sika wami boto munu shata beaters. Yeah, ni babra, ni same ni walk. Se mama ni se me de me buga buga.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
UK.
Oh yeah, I feel so we have a con grow. Yeah, can be Christmas and yani kito. Yeah, but no sign of a shishishu. Oh yeah, I feel so we have a con grow. Yeah, cause the Christmas and I dig it up. Yeah, but no sign, yeah, but she show. Oh yeah, bro, yeah. To me, them me come party on me briefcase. And I need no part, me them me 2 kiss. Just got me Jenny, mama me tequila sis. Me them me pay me brocos and the yam chips. My bro, mama me Jimmy. Sana me too, means Roby. And then you need you that I beg my paddy cookie. Long life, now yes, na na young go bound. I feel so we have a call it home. Yeah, cause the Christmas and I dig it up. Yeah, but don't sign, yeah, but she show. Oh yeah, bro, yeah. I feel so we have a call it home. Yeah, cause the Christmas and I dig it up. Yeah, but don't sign, yeah, but she show. Oh yeah, bro, yeah. My boga, my penny come. My cheddar. I select it from Cantamando. Emano, Mohene, Mumabekuto. Sika wami boto munum shata beat the smoke. Yeah, ni babra, ni see me walk through. Se mama no me se me dem eba buga buga no. 24 December wo biando, mindo. Oh yeah, mafia so via me call it crow. Yeah, can be Christmas and can be kito. Yeah, be no sign, yeah, be shishishu. Oh yeah, bro na. Mafia so via me call it crow. Yeah, can be Christmas and can be kito. Yeah, be no sign, yeah, be shishishu. Oh yeah, bro na. Mafia so via me call it crow. Yeah, can be Christmas and can be kito. Yeah, be no sign, yeah, be shishishu. Oh yeah.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, and the new one's just begun. And so this is Christmas.
And so this is Christmas, yeah, yeah. Tell me, what have we done? Why?
Another year over,
and the new one just begun.
And so happy Christmas.
We hope you have fun. The near and the dear one, the old and the young. A very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one. Hope it's a good one, yeah. Without any fear. A very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's hope it's a good one.
Hope it's a good one.
Without any fear. A very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one, without any fear.
We can't do